Thank you, sir. And good afternoon to everybody. Thank you. Uh, Dr. Bajaj explained in a very good way how the certifications are basically obtained for just for compliances. And I personally have many experiences where we have visited organizations and we have asked them about the controls which they have taken, they have implemented in their organizations from the various, you can say, standards or the compliances which are available in the industry. So we have seen that they have kept a lot of loopholes, like they have put lot of compensatory controls instead of following the exact framework of that standard. So, so there are, like, when we ask them about the logical controls mentioned in the standard, they told us that there are compensatory controls which has been implemented in the form of physical controls. So physically the boundaries are very strong, but the threats are there from the insiders. So I will be talking about the data protection. I will be talking about integrity, non-repudiation, confidentiality for the sensitive data we are having in our data centers, and I will be talking to this in line to our IT Act and regulations. So if we see in the, like, recently IT rules has come out in 2011, and it has come out with quite clear guidelines for the data which should be considered as sensitive and what steps should be taken to safeguard the data. So the IT Act puts substantial legal liability on companies, again this time on body corporates which are storing the sensitive data of their consumers or of their customers, of the people. They are storing the personal identifiable information, PII. And they have also put legal liabilities on the organizations, whether it is government or it is a private enterprise. And so if these you can say vulnerabilities are not mitigated, it may lead to erosion of public confidence, substantially affect profitability of that organization, and result in imprisonment of the officials and directors of such companies. So what does it require? Basically, when we talk about data privacy, the most important part is we cannot protect each and every piece of data we are having in the data centers, and not everything is confidential. So we have to identify the data elements that are sensitive as per the business being handled. Then documenting a policy, how we are going to safeguard this data. And again, demonstrating through regular audits and reporting tools. So that, because security, again, if we talk about is a continuous process, we cannot say that we are foolproof secure. So auditing and reporting always helps us to bridge the gaps in security. Then data retention. We need to retain the data as per prescribed norms and yet protect it. Data destruction, which is again one of the most important part of the data life cycle, because when we don't require the data, we should not keep it. And data shall not be retained longer than needed. Kill the data, and any copy of data residing anywhere, irrespective of its location, becomes inaccessible. And it can be accomplished through disposal of encryption keys. We need to have some kind of confidentiality stuff which requires some keys, some mathematics, some algorithms. So those are the exact way of going about it. And data decryption capabilities. When we put some kind of confidentiality on the data, it should not be a showstopper. Data should be available to the right users at the right point of time. So the companies which are impacted by these IT Act, you can say IT rules 2011, prior to that it was IT amendment in 2008, and IT Act 2000 was also talking about integrity and non-repudiation, and it was talking about PKI in very detail. So Any and every kind of body corporate doing business in India is getting covered in these regulations. The examples are banks, healthcare, medical insurance companies, ITES sector, and transaction processing companies, which may be financial or non-financial. The section 43A is a very, again, you can say it defines it in a clear way, where it held responsible, the organization is held responsible if any kind of data from the consumers, from its users is compromised from their premises. So they talk about, this was basically the first time the organizations were made liable for safeguarding user or consumer data. So the explanation it gives is that the body corporate means any company and includes a firm, sole proprietorship or other association of individual engaged in commercial or professional activities. And again, Dr. Bajaj was talking about the regional security practices and procedures which it talk about. So it says that basis on the criticality of the data, there should be reasonable security implemented to safeguard it from the hackers or from the bad guys who want to misuse the information. I don't want to go line by line in this section, so yeah, Dr. Bajaj has covered 43.
You move over the statutory part.
Right.
Let us come to SafeNet's observations.
Right. So I would like to cover the sensitive information which has been explained by the IT rules. So these include password, financial information, sexual orientation, medical records and histories. So this was the first time that the clear definition of the sensitive information has been mentioned in the IT rules. The impact is, while IT rules bring additional clarity to what must be considered as the sensitive personal information, it by no means limits the scope to the same. Again, section 67C, which talks about that intermediary shall preserve and retain such information as may be specified for such duration and in such manner and format as the central government may prescribe. So intermediary here has been defined as any person who on behalf of another person receives, stores or transmits that record or provides any service with respect to that record. So the examples here are which are getting affected are the banks which are providing various banking services, email portals, social networking sites, online retail portals and many more. Section 72 is again talking about the privacy of data, and it is also talking about the legal liabilities. The person who are violating the section, it is clearly mentioned that shall be punished with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 2 years, and there is a financial penalty associated with it as well. Similarly, section 85, along with all the prior sections, is talking about that where a person committing a conversion of any of the provisions of this act or of any rules, direction or order made thereunder is a company, every person who at the time the contravention was committed was in charge of and was responsible to the company for the conduct of business of company, as well as the company shall be guilty of contravention and shall be liable to the to be proceeded against and punished accordingly. So there are a lot of clear-cut definitions mentioned in the IT rules which talks about data security and how data should be, the critical data confidentiality should be maintained while it is stored or either at the data center in the body corporate or it is handled by the authorized people in any organization. So what can be done? We have a very good legal framework which talks about how integrity of the critical data should be maintained. It talks about digital signatures, PKI, digital signing process. We just have to look that the key element in any kind of digital signing is secured. So the keys are not compromised, because if the root of trust is compromised in any organization, then probably digital signatures based integrity will go for a toss. Then non-repudiation of transactions, again, the PKI has been given legal status in this country for non-repudiation of transactions, so that no person or organization can deny for the transaction they have done. And encryption of data to provide confidentiality to any kind of sensitive information. So if even my parameter is compromised, I intrude into IDS, IPS and all kind of parametric security stuff, still I cannot misuse the data. I just get the garbage out of the data center because I don't have the root of trust. I don't have the keys to decrypt it. So I cannot breach into the confidentiality of that sensitive data. So the most important part again is identifying the sensitive information, which information is most sensitive to my organization. Not every data elements need same level of protection. Control the access to data. Username and password based access is very vulnerable. We cannot rely only on username and password, so we need to put some kind of multi-factor authentication for accessing the critical data. We have to put you can say granular access and authorization levels. So data should be made available to any organization or to any person on need to know basis only. Control the type of queries that can be run by a particular role, and control the amount of information that can be fetched. So there should be you can say proper granular access awarded to the authorized data admins, system admins, so that I do only my job. I cannot compromise the sensitive information of my organization. So this adds the security aspect to bring adequate level of security for the identified data elements. And of course, auditing and reporting always remains the most important part of any kind of security. Like all the organizations, either like they are looking towards reducing the cost of their IT infrastructure. They are very susceptible in moving their critical resources to the service providers data center. Again, this is because of the security concerns they have, that since they have little assurance when it is residing under their physical control. Now when it moves to the cloud, probably they are not sure when the service provider employee can share their data with their competitors, or it can be published at some wrong place. So the IT security groups are having their own concerns. They say that the cloud isn't secure. I don't trust providers. I don't know how to secure that thing. And then there are auditor issues. They ask that show me your security, prove compliance in clouds, convince me. So because of these issues, there is lot of reservation in government and non-government organizations in moving their data to service providers. And again, as per the you can say the independent research reports, they say that since the data is getting moved to some other place in cloud, you should ensure that the data resides over there in a very confidential way, in some kind of strong authentication, in some kind of strong encrypted format. And always keys of that encryption or the key to that encryption should always remain in owner's control. It should not lie along with the encrypted data in the cloud. So encryption is the fundamental technology for realizing cloud security. And it isolates data in multi-tenant environment, recognized universally, and sets a high watermark for demonstrating regulatory compliance adherence for data. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, just feel free. I am available outside at the booth.